All right, go right ahead.
Okay, so, I think that after we fill in these blanks, you'll see that we'll probably be around 3.6 million. And, that pretty much brings this sheet to what we have now. Do you have any questions on this sheet?
I do not.
Okay. One of the items I do want to bring to your attention is actually the last item, item number 149.
Yep.
In talking with the Council on Aging, we learned that they do not have a defibrillator on site, and many towns have them. Obviously, being the senior center, it's probably a logical place to see a defibrillator, and most towns also have one in their vans for when they transport the seniors. Mr. Schofield had mentioned that he was going to talk to you and the FinCom board about potentially putting a placeholder on special town meeting to see if they could find a funding source for that item. That's probably one of the hottest items.
Okay.
A next important item I think that the Board of Selectmen should keep an eye on is the Parks Department. Their tractor that they use, they have one tractor that they use to cut every blade of grass in this town. That's all the cemeteries, all these athletic fields. That includes Colonial Drive soccer field, your police department, your fire department, a vast amount of acreage. And that tractor is like a 1984. It was bought secondhand. It's been requiring repair. And when it goes, the Parks Department will no longer be able to cut grass. So that's probably another hot item just to keep your eye on. And again, we will be following up with a formal report. This is draft material right now.
Hold on, let me realize a quick question.
Just going back to the AED, the town hall has one. Do we think that maybe for now it would be smart to put it to the senior center since we're close to the police who have one? At least,
You have to also take in consideration, it's the emergency center. Just in case of an emergency, and a resident that have to go to the emergency center, there is no provision for an instrument like that.
I'd prefer to buy a new one.
Yeah.
No, I know, I'm just saying,
in the meantime,
in the
you're saying.
meantime, it's probably more important to have one down there.
But the units are $1,500 each, and we walking around with these two units for the last 3 months. They're $1,500 each.
Yeah, but that's not really
I'm
answering
not
this question.
saying-
No, I understand, I agree with you, they're cheap, let's buy them, but I mean, this is the first we heard of it, so I mean, I know you say we've been dancing around it for 3 months, but I didn't know they didn't have one.
Oh, yeah, no,
According
no.
to Amy, she said that you guys knew about it.
Oh, no.
I don't remember
I
that
don't
discussion.
think so. I didn't hear that.
Okay, so we need 2 defibrillators for the senior center.
I intended to put, I already have them on
Yeah,
the
no,
list,
understood.
list, and I
Yeah,
intended to
we
put
just
them
said
on.
that, we just
So,
said that.
Just a question, when you cite operational budget for something like that, because I would think, is that truly operational, or is that gonna be more of a one-shot deal, like, we've got free cash, we wanna allocate it,
Oh, I see
single
what you're
purchase,
saying.
that's all.
Yeah,
More in terms of,
what we meant there is to find some way to get it out of Article 4, like transfer it
Yeah.
out, or
Okay.
find the free cash or something, that's what we meant, right? That's what
Yes,
yep.
correct.
Mr. Watson?
Chairman, I think there may be laws dictating where they have to be.
I would
I
agree.
don't have that with me, but
Yeah, I know there's something, yeah. I would
I
agree
think
with
we're
you.
gonna close on this one pretty quick.
Yeah,
Can I ask a question? Someone had mentioned earlier that there was a list that was going to be sent around to different departments to review it before.
That's a little bit.
Was that it's not this? Okay, because did you see the list that the insurance company sent out? I had sent it to you. Is that on a different list than this?
No, it is here, okay, so and maybe there's more list than what I saw. I did see a list from the Board of Selectmen's office about the insurance company's request for the senior center to have its oil tank have some type of oil containment barricade around it. We met with Council on Aging, we talked about it. Building such a chamber would be very expensive. It would require relocating the electrical panel. The chamber has to be built so it can hold 125% of the anticipated volume of the tank. So the question was asked to Council on Aging, while they make double-lined oil tanks, if you instead got a double-lined oil tank, which would be a fraction of the cost, would that satisfy the insurance company's, request? And Council on Aging was going to look into that.
I think there were like
There
half a
was,
dozen
there
things
were
in
more,
it.
because the one thing that stood out with me, that there was issues with the carpeting in this
Yeah.
building because it's ripped and it could be a hazard, someone could trip and it would be a liability problem. So I know, I
I don't remember
didn't see.
seeing that, I just,
Oh, yeah, we
I
got a.
There's a
remember
whole-
seeing the
I think
everything.
that, like, even.
See,
photo-
Okay.
Carpets is
So
good.
There's a list out there, we need to, let's get back, we'll circle back to that. If it's not on here, we'll get it back on later.
Okay, so that pretty much talks about the spreadsheet. Again, it's a draft, we're still waiting for some information. It's going to be pinged around a little bit if you want to add or modify.
There's one item that you'll be getting from me, two items you'll be getting from me. One is the additional finalization for the phone system for the town, and also a new server request for the town hall, which can be a couple-year out priority, so it'll give you a rough estimate, numbers will need to be redone at the time, because we've already, as item number 1 states, this server has already been upgraded and will be sustainable for another couple of years. Year and a half, 2 years. Huh?
The printer?
A final phone system,
Yeah, I got that.
and then a new server system.
Copier.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Another server?
I'm also gonna send you guys over a quote that I'll be getting for the copier replacement here. In a volume such as we use, I suggest a lease, but I'll get you some numbers on that.
Okay.
That'll allow for scan the email, scan the folder, which will make things a lot more beneficial for all the departments here, and hopefully cut down on some paper costs too.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, the server, I must have missed what you said that was for. Is there some other server somewhere else in town that we?
Town hall server. I was just saying, it's not a priority now, but I would put it on the CapEx
I thought
plan.
that's what we just did. What did we
All
just
we
do?
did was upgraded the existing server memory.
Oh, but it needs to be replaced.
It eventually needs to be
I
replaced. Yeah,
understand.
and it's a 3-year out item.
Got it.
So, we get 1.5 to 2 years on the one we got. Within that next year, I think it should be on the.
So, question I have on this, we were moving forward with some improvements based on the ADA work that's
Yes.
underway. So is your recommendation that, because I was thinking we probably need to have Kevin come back in and kind of give us more his plan, more figure out dates, things like that, because we talked about maybe a multi-year approach. Is that something you'd want us to hold off on, or is that something we can continue to pursue through the CPA funds?
I think we would recommend that you continue to pursue that with Kevin and using CPA funds. We did meet with Kevin about 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
For an update, and he had told us that community preservation has been not meeting this summer. So he really didn't have a good update for us because he has not been able to meet with Ann Mazar and her team. However, in his last communication with her, they were pretty much in agreement that they could fund the vast majority of all the ADA requirements. They were going to fund them, they were going to recommend to fund them in full, and they were trying to have, I believe, a 2-year approach
Yeah, well-
to getting those done.
I sit in on that, and I'd probably say loosely, they said, yeah, this makes sense, but we want to kind of stretch it out. The action, maybe we should ask Kevin to come back in, is for him to lay out a multi-year. I was hearing more like, not 2 years, maybe 3 to 5, as long as the plan's in place.
When we had Ann in here,
Yep.
we heard directly from her that they were not going to drip feed.
I'm sorry?
They were not going to drip feed these improvements. That they were just going to fund them and get them done. So this 5-year thing, the last I heard, they were not going to do
All
it.
right,
They were not
so,
gonna do it.
I want the ADA plan laid out,
All right.
and then we can circle back, because I'm in the other meeting, so.
I think you need to ask.
on that note, why don't we have Kevin come in after he meets with Ann,
I would suggest
with the
that.
plan? Fair enough?
I'll be in both meetings, so, I'm good.
You'll know before us. Don't email us, I don't want it to be a surprise.
Okay, so finally, the last update that we have for you, Mr. Chairman, and I had gone over this with you a couple of years ago. The town of Mendon currently has a bylaw that was established in 2004 about CapEx and the rules for funding it. And in our discussion, we had discussed that that bylaw that was created in 2004 falls under home rule, a home rule petition, a little bit different than what our normal bylaws, the way they work. And Margaret knows more about it than I do, the town clerk. She was the one that pointed it out to me. They are things that can be adjusted and changed. There is a different approach to doing it because it falls under this home rule petition. But the current bylaw specifies that CapEx line item cannot be funded more than $100,000 a year. And anything that is going to be funded by CapEx has to have a price tag of at least $25,000. You and I had talked about that. The committee and I had talked about that. We felt it was very restrictive. I sent you an email today, a draft of what I want to send to town council and seek his guidance in the proper way to modify this current bylaw so that CapEx can be funded more than $100,000 a year to go in line with the Long-Range Financial Planning Committee's recommendation of, was it 5%?
I think it's 3%, which would be about 430,000.
3%. In addition to that, we had talked about potentially changing that bylaw to actually have it say that $150,000 at a minimum would have to be funded in that line item, and that would be contingent on an article passing for a Proposition 2.5 override, operational override, to create that $150,000 fund. I felt that would be wise, as capital money is something that the town has been struggling with trying to obtain since 2004 without having much success. And I know that Finance Committee has recently has been able to fund some money in there. It's still a long ways off on what we need, especially we're looking at such a backlog of capital needs. And if you just check through your email that I sent today, you'll see some of that documentation that I sent out for your review.
Yeah, I have it up right here. Yeah, I mean, as when we met, I'm on board with it. If the townspeople agree to vote for it, I think it's a great way to fund our capital needs. If, you know, for instance, I brought up earlier that we have the CPA funding, that we take a percentage of our taxes and that, you know, went up, and we pay that to purchase land and open space and whatnot, and we really don't have a mechanism outside of our operational budget to fund these expensive items that we need, as far as getting buildings repaired, purchasing trucks that Alan may need, purchasing mowers, that, you know, everything that we've just talked about on this list. And I think it's a good idea. It's a good business decision for the community, and I think that given the right amount of input, I don't see why that this wouldn't pass. I mean, what is $150,000 in the taxes, Rich, on a $300,000 home?
It's about $50 a year for a $300,000 house, roughly.
50?
About $50.
$50. So, I mean, if for $50 a year to put into your infrastructure account, well, I don't want to call it infrastructure account, your capital account, I think is a wise decision. So I think that, you know, we would bring it, let council review it, and if you haven't already sent it over to them. And
I haven't. I wanted you gentlemen to have a chance just to read through it and just to see what I was doing. I didn't want to jump the gun and...
Yeah, I mean, I think getting the wordsmithing correct from council is right. You could put a number of X on certain things right now.
Okay.
And let us come up with what we think would be the reasonable number. Is $150,000 too high? Is $50,000 too low? That we would ask the people to put up in their taxes. I mean, that's something that we need to come up with to make that determination. But as far as
I'm okay with the mechanism. I'd be kind of curious if you went back to the spreadsheet and maybe even tagged some of these things that you think would be funded out of, that budget versus, some of these will still be debt exclusions, would be my point, right? So, a new fire truck, that would not be expected to be funded out of necessarily the CapEx account straight up.
You are correct, sir.
So maybe we can kind of get some clarification, because I think some of these smaller things, even some of the trucks, could be.
Exactly. You're always going to have those huge ticket items
Yep.
that will always require a debt exclusion, but, the average piece of equipment that the highway supervisor needs is between 50,000, and 150,000, so.
Yeah, we just need to strike a balance, because if you looked at a 150 override going straight to one account, someone might turn around and say, in 3 years, you've met your 3% target of the operational budget. What happens then? So do we know what would happen then, or are we assuming there'd be a constant spend for a time being that you'd always kind of maintain it? Those would be questions we probably need to be prepared to ask, because you'll hit that 400 pretty quick if you're, the override is forever, so to speak, until you underride it, right?
Correct.
So those might be questions we just need to be prepared to answer.
Okay?
Great. Anything further? Mr. Watson?
Mr. Chairman, is the amount that was given, I know they have a couple things hanging out there with the salt shed and whatnot, was that amount given that would cover us for 5 years, include the completion of the police station?
Sorry, I'm going to let them answer that only because they're a little
5.6
faster.
million, 5.6 million or something?
We have an estimate of $1 million to provide substantial completion for the fire department. I just want to say that, excuse me,
Police Department.
Police Department, correct? Yes. We have an estimate of $1 million here, and please, it's just an estimate. The Friends of the Mendon Police Department are currently trying to find their way to have an architect give them a better idea of the monetary amount that it would take to actually complete that building. I don't have that number. When asking them in passing what they thought it would take to complete that building, the number $1 million was thrown out there. I would not take that to the press right now. I would not take that to the voters right now. More work needs to be done on that.
So was that $1 million into 3.6 million?
It is.
Thank you.
So things aren't that bad.
Class is half full.
Anything further? Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Do you have anything, Diane?
There's no exec session, right?
Yeah, there's no executive session?
Not
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, there was.
We got,
You don't
I
want
think we
to-
got a Boy Scout item. Wants one in the back.
You do?
The business associate contract with Maya?
Yep.
Yeah, the second side of the
Come
agenda.
on.
You want to push off firefighters contract?
I just sent them over, I sent you guys all the stuff, there's 5-word changes. Can you make that motion? Mendon Boy Scouts of America requests your board's approval to hold the next can and bottle drive from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, September 7th, 2013, in the Town Hall parking lot. In addition, the troop would like a banner sign, wait a minute. Like to hang a banner sign on the metal railing in front of the Town Hall parking lot for 1 week prior to the event.
Chairman, I move to approve the Troop 44 Boy Scouts Can and Bottle Drive on Saturday, September 7th, 2013, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and they may hang a banner sign on the metal railing in front of Town Hall parking lot for 1 week prior to the event.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What's that?
This is a contract, MIAA.
What's that for? I just need to sign two.
Chairman, I move to sign the business associate contract between MIAA Health Benefits Trust and the Town of Mendon and its health plan.
Second?
Discussion? Can you just give a quick brief on what this is,
Yes.
please?
Sure. the manager of the Maya Health Benefits Trust sent a letter saying that because the health plan shares its subscribers' protected health information, such as medical claims information, et cetera, with the trust is considered a business associate of the health plan. And since the health trust shares that same information with Blue Cross, Blue Cross acts as a business associate of the trust, therefore, our plan is required to have a business associate contract with the trust, so that's what that is.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I have,
You approve this chapter 9, does this require everybody's signature?
just on 2 pages. So, right, I have the,
Do this first. Proclaim Senior Citizens Day, then you can read that.
okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I move to proclaim September 15th, 2013 as Senior Citizens Day.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. With that, we have the Mendon Senior Citizens, Senior Citizen of the Year, and that's awarded this year to Mr. Mike Mandalia, former selectman, and Finance Committee member, and Conservation Committee member, and what else is he on? Mike Mandalia of 186 Blackstone Street, Mendon, was nominated and chosen for 2013 Mendon Senior Citizen of the Year for the following reasons. I wish I would have done this first. When is this?
Can we do it our next meeting?
Yes, I want to do this the next meeting, because I want to do it first when there's a lot
The
of,
date of the Senior Citizen Day.
September 15th?
When? Okay, so that's
September
time.
15th.
is that okay?
That's fine, I just.
I want to do this when it's early and there's more people here and watching.
The signatures on that.
Ah, just 2 pages.
Okay, I got some meeting minute approvals if you...
Okay, go ahead.
So I move to approve the regular session meeting minutes of August 12th, 2013 as written, and executive session meetings of August 12th, 2013, not to be released.
Second?
Discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Okay, this is an amendment to a previous approval. I move to amend the meeting minutes of January 22nd, 2013 to change paragraph 6, line 3 from September 11th to September 1st.
Second?
Discussion. All in favor?
Another amendment. I move to amend the meeting minutes of July 29th, 2013 to change page 1, paragraph 6 from Selectman Goddard made and Selectman Reel seconded to Selectman Reel made and Chairman Tenio stepped down to second.
Second?
Who's stepping down? Discussion. All in favor?
Aye. And that is all I got. Nope. I got one more. Do we have an executive session?
We do not.
We do not. Then-
The only item is, and I can talk about it here, is the fire contract was returned from council. Very minor wording changes. I just sent it to those guys for approval. Once they send it back, we'll get the final copy, and as long as they're okay with it, we'll sign it in the next meeting.
Yahoo.
Moment,
Motion to adjourn?
please hold.
Second?
The November special town meeting?
Oh, that's right, you laid out the dates, right?
What's that?
Special town meeting dates.
What date do we want to use?
I think you had a recommended date.
The 25th?
Of November?
So everybody's available. Everybody likes that date.
Please hold. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna mention that we, at this point, we only have one applicant for the open sing competition. And I know from talking to the guys and from past experience, or whatever, I know that they're gonna be happy to have Mr. Mendel join us, so, and I suggested maybe, it's been advertised for over 3 months, and nobody else has responded, so if you, I wonder if you could.
Have a motion, should we
install it
break
tonight to have it be done.
Easy.
Mr. Chairman, I move to appoint
25th works.
Mike Mandalia to the Finance Committee. Term expiration, is this a one,
When does the term expire, do you know?
or we'll reappoint him in July of next, we want to take it through the end of this fiscal year? and then
Well, just,
reappoint?
yeah, we can always,
Just say replace Mr. Salinas.
okay, yeah, there you go.
So I move to
Peter.
appoint Mike Mandalia to the FinCom to serve out the term of Peter Selenius.
Yeah.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yay.
Welcome aboard, Mike, if you're watching.
Yeah, safe to say. Lucky. 25th works for me.
Yep.
November 25th will be the special town meeting.
They're not really close to Thanksgiving.
It's the Tuesday after.
Before.
Monday before, why, is Thanksgiving at that very last week? Oh, the Monday before Thanksgiving? Yeah, that's
Well,
terrible.
because Jean didn't think that she wasn't 100% sure that she would have everything she needed back from the DOR the week before, so she was hesitant to schedule it that week before.
Sure it's that day? Yeah, I would really caution against a special town meeting the Monday before Thanksgiving. I mean, I thought it was the Monday after Thanksgiving, but the way that's following that month.
Should we try and let's check, let's confirm the week before that, if we can.
Originally, I thought it was going to be the 18th.
Yeah, but I guess Gene was concerned that we wouldn't have everything back. I mean, I almost say go into December, as much as I hate to have one in December, but
So you'd rather do the first week in December than,
and that's a terrible time to do
so
it.
when's the...
Christmas shopping and all, it's just train wreck.
That's Monday.
Check with Jean.
If we can do the 18th, let's just wait till the very last possible minute to book it.
What about even the Thursday, what about an off, not Monday or Tuesday, towards the end of that week?
Mr. Chairman, I don't remember exactly what it was, but for some reason Margaret said we couldn't do the 18th, so originally we were talking about actually the 19th, I'm sorry.
Well-
the 19th. So if you want to reconsider a previous week, then check on the 19th, I'm pretty sure there's a reason Margaret said we couldn't do the 18th.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's,
because Margaret's not, there's one day that Margaret's not available.
do we have to
that might
set
be-
that date in this meeting?
No, it can wait one more week, one more meeting, rather.
No, I'm just saying, does it have to be set in a meeting? Can we just say, okay, this is the date? We pick the day, we just agree in an email? I mean, it's not like we're setting some huge
Right,
policy.
and then open the warrant at the next
Whatever.
meeting.
Yeah, right. Why don't we do that?
Let me work on it.
Why don't we pick, let's just say this. We'll approve the special town meeting to be anywhere from November 18th to December 2nd, pending a straw poll from the Board of
See,
Selectmen.
I think Margaret is out.
Well, now we're
It's- I
getting
think
back
it's
into
too
time, there's not
early.
enough time to get everything certified from DOR. That's even worse.
Yeah, that's definitely,
I'll work on it.
Motion to adjourn?
Anything else, Diane, before a motion to adjourn again? Which you cut me off on?
I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on.
What are your next two meeting dates in September?
The 9th and the 23rd.
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
9th and the 23rd.
I can give you the update on the job.
Wait to be here for my birthday. I may not be here, just so you know.
Which one is that?
23rd.
All right, so 23rd would be a very light agenda, Diane.
Yeah, I might not even be here.
I move we adjourn.
All right,
Do I get a
motion to
second?
adjourn.
Second.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.